Hello there. Looking for a new weird weapon? Well, to be honest, your super duper mart won't hold it. But I may be able to help you with that. Now, we've gone through a lot of weapons. We've gone through the weak, the strong, the obscure, and we're not quite done yet. There's still quite a few weapons left on the list for the check marked off. But this time, it's going to be a weird weapon. Yes. Such a weird weapon that you can get it almost in the beginning of the game. I think you know which weapon I'm talking about now. The one that Dogmeat can grab for you by performing a magic trick. Yes, that weapon. The cryolator. The cryolator, well, is the polar opposite of a flamethrower. Instead of spitting fire at your target, you spray them with liquid nitrogen? Maybe? That's a good question. Not even sure that would work properly, without even freezing yourself in the process. But yes, with your dog at least done, if it's not patched yet, maybe by the time someone watches this video, by the time Dogmeat can still grab this thing through the wall. Problem is, when you do, you realize you don't have the ammunition nor the skill to use it, because your character's low level. But there's a few quirks of ups and downs of this weapon. Now, I normally avoided this weapon for the longest time, mainly because the ammunition, the cryo rounds, is extremely expensive. One cryo round is 15 caps at its best price. That's expensive. It took me lots of caps to get almost 2,000 of it. A lot. But for the sake of this showcase, I did it anyway. Plus I have extra caps to burn. But man, this gun was truly unexpected. At first, I did exactly what I figured it'd do, but later on, it surprised me. Not to mention, it's pretty damn light. So, as I mentioned before, it's the polar opposite of the flamethrower, which it behaves like one. Except it's liquid nitrogen, perhaps? Good question. But I decided to try out this first version for how odd it is. And like I figured it would, it did kill enemies extremely quick. But the reload only has 25 shots in the magazine, and you must reload that. A little tedious, because you only get to kill a few enemies and then forced to have that reload. But it's still powerful, but expensive to run. At this point, I didn't see the value of the gun. It's only after the upgrades took place. Speaking of which, I do have my heavy gunner perk doubled, or maxed out, so double damage will ensue. Now, in terms of customization, there are none. There's none. You just take the next upgrade. There's no question about it. Well, the recoil, well, the gun has a little bit of recoil, but it didn't really matter as a flamethrower, so I'll take it on anyway. Its sights, to be honest, it's either center sights or close sights. Like, well, why not? What is important is the crystallizing barrel. You change the projectile to little capsules. Well, little snowballs, like they call them. It almost does nothing for the damage, but it does dramatically increase the range. So I thought, okay, sounds awesome. Increase the weight too, but if it's not a flamethrower... Now, to be honest, I could barely see these things in my shooting range. Should have done it during the daytime. So, for this matter, I'll turn on my HUD to help see the projectiles. And I can still barely see it, and the spread's not too bad. But the shooting range really doesn't help this weapon, so I'll have to go out and test it on many enemies then. So we took our cryolator, the polarized flamethrower, which is already strange enough in that weird sense, and turned it into a machine gun. So how this works, I guess it's for a game theory or something. Not my area of expertise. But taking it out on the town, I immediately got swarmed by some gunners when I loaded into an area, so I figured, good enough first targets. Now, I've had a hard time hitting them from the hip. Going through a lot of a magazine to hit one of them. Do it damage, but I'm missing a lot of shots. The spread on it's a little wider than I like. This already didn't paint a very good picture for me. But it did do excellent damage, that's for sure. Now, for gun turrets, it immediately hit. I missed a first few shots, but as soon as one hit it, it was destroyed. But now when I took it against mutants, which my intended target was, you can see I killed that one with only 2 shots. I was surprised. I figured, okay, let's try this again. Because 2 shots is a little too easy. And sure enough, 2 shots. I snuck up on a Super Mutant Overlord and offloaded just barely a whole clip into him. He's down in like less than 15 shots. Missed a couple though. Now, again, I decided to try it again, and you can see it's doing extremely well against the Super Mutants. Almost ungodly-like. I even took it to their boss, the Master. Killed him in less than 1 clip. 10 shots. So I say I need something bigger to shoot at. Of course, Liberty Prime didn't care too much. So I decided to take the next best thing nearby. A guy in power armor. A Paladin. Didn't look like he would do much damage, but sure enough, he's dead before he even shoots. This thing's powerful. Now, I had to go with something even bigger, because I realized the weakness of this thing is the spread's too heavy to hit small targets. You need big ones. Super Mutant and bigger. So there we go. There she is. This is the target I wanted to attack. Now, I really couldn't hit her from this range, so that 200 seems to be falsehood in terms of range. But as soon as I got close, damn, does this thing kick ass. Not only did I kill her before his lackey even got to hurt me, it was a legendary, and I killed him with the same magazine. Man. But now, I had to go something even bigger. Now, oh look, a Deathclaw Matriarch. 1 magazine? No problem. That was even my intended target. I didn't come here to fight that. I'm going to fight the thing in the background, the Behemoth. That's my target. I didn't think I'll have any problems at this point. This weapon's already been super powerful. What's this? Another Deathclaw? No problem. What's this? He's already attacking me? 1 magazine. No problem. Now, you'd think that to be the end of it, but I can't set this stuff up. Shit just falls apart and happens anyway. In the middle of doing all this? Oh look, a Deathclaw Alpha. Down already for the count. This weapon is OP. Seriously OP. Man, let's count them. Man, that's 1 dead Deathclaw, 2 dead Deathclaw, 3 dead Deathclaw, and a Behemoth, all in the same battle. That is nuts. Man, this weapon's OP. Alright, some pros and cons. First up, pros. The gun's OP. Seriously, does more damage than the mini nuke, perhaps. Second, it's fairly light for a heavy weapon. And that's about it for the pros, even though those are 2 excellent pros. There are quite a few cons. Cons. First up, the projectiles themselves aren't very efficient, flame or machine gun wise. The spread's too heavy, the recoil's too heavy. Second, you can't find the ammo anywhere. It cannot be salvaged, you must buy it. Leading up to the next point, the ammo is very expensive. Extremely expensive. So yes, more cons than pros, but the pros make up for it. Oh yes, they make up for it. And that is the cryolator. Now, I bet you weren't expecting to walk into Super Duper Mart and for me to drop this on you. To be honest, I wanted to save the strongest weapon for the last video, but I may just ruin that for myself. So the mini nuke, in my opinion, the mini nuke's been trumped by this. I want to see this from Fallout 5, or whatever next Fallout. I'll be disappointed if I don't. This weapon is madness. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if an update came out nerfing it even. Because that battle, nothing can trump this. Maybe a sniper. But anyway, that's Showcase for today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.